What's up, guys? How is it going? It's finally time for us to complete our March Madness bracket challenge. Now, the link to join this bracket challenge will be down in the description. So we've got like a league table. You're going to get points based on your predictions, and you can see how you compare to my predictions. But it's not just me making the predictions today. We are bringing in the help of ChatGPT for round one. In round two, we're going to mix it up a little, and we're going to spin a wheel to see who will go through. And then from there on in, it's going to be me making the predictions. So it might be a bit of a long video. Make yourself comfy and let's get straight into it. Let's go. Now, you can join this league. The link will be down below. It's called BG Big Bracket. Like I said, the link will be in the description, so you can go make your own bracket, join the league, and we'll see who gets the most points in the bracket challenge. Now, I'm actually getting a bit of help today. I'm actually going to use ChatGPT to help me. If you know, last year, I didn't really know much about any of these colleges, so we're going to use ChatGPT to guide me along the way in making my picks. We might have to force a pick out of it because you know it doesn't like you betting on its behalf and stuff like that. But we're going to give it a go and see how it goes. So the first game is UConn versus Stetson. So let's ask it. UConn versus Stetson. March Madness. Who you got? Who you got, ChatGPT? Let's have a look. Who has it got? Okay. If you had to pick. Okay, it is giving us a choice. He leaned towards UConn based on the historical success and reputation in the NCAA. However, March Madness, all I heard is UConn. Thanks. Right, UConn is locked in. FAU versus Northwestern up next. He said, "You're welcome, UConn has certainly made a name for itself in college basketball." Well, let's hope they get through the first round. They are the number 1 seed versus the number 16 seed. There we have FAU versus Northwestern. Okay, let's go. Hopefully it'll give me some information on the names of these colleges as well, because I don't even know who FAU is. FAU is the Florida Atlantic University. Who is more likely to win? See, this one is at number 8 versus number 9. So, while I can't predict the outcome of a specific game, if we consider historical performance and current rankings, Northwestern might be considered the favorite over Florida. However, upsets are... So it's just choosing the favorite once again. Okay, I'll go with the FAU. FAU, let's do it. Next up, San Diego State versus UAB. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, ChatGPT? Come on, what are we thinking? Oh, he's having to think about this one again without being like. However, historically, San Diego State has been a strong contender in college basketball, often performing well in tournaments like March Madness. University of Alabama at Birmingham, so that's UAB, has also had its success. Okay. I like the sound of San Diego State being a successful team. Okay, next up. Auburn versus Yale. I didn't know Yale get into March Madness. Isn't that like a school for smart people? Auburn and Yale, both reputable programs in college. The strengths differ. Auburn are a member of the SEC. Okay. Yale represent the Ivy League. Okay. Auburn may be considered the favorite due to its high level of competition in the SEC. However, Yale's well-coached team and disciplined play style could pose a challenge. Okay, he's giving me a bit more info on this one. You know what? Let's go for the upset. Yale it is. What have you got to say to that? Choosing Yale as a winner, as the upset winner, can definitely make for an exciting prediction. Okay, we're having a bit of excitement in our lives. Next up, we got... Who on earth is that? We got BYU versus... What? DUQ... DeQuesne. So it's the Brigham Young University at both respective programs. BYU, a member of the West Coast Conference, has a strong basketball tradition. DeQuesne, representing the Atlantic 10. BYU considered favorites because of its historical success. But there could be posed a challenge if DeQuesne bring their A game. Let's go BYU. What does this I button do here? Oh, it gives us a bit of an analysis here. Overview. Okay, they're actually pretty close in terms of winning percentage here, but BYU are in a better conference by the sounds of things. We'll go BYU. We will choose some upsets along the way if ChatGPT is just choosing a favorite. We already have one. I mean, we've already chosen Yale over Auburn, the number 13 seed there. Next up, we got Illinois versus Moorhead. Illinois. There might be spelling mistakes here, guys. You're just going to have to live with it. Versus Morehead State. I know which way he's going with this one. Set in a clash what promises to be an exciting lineup. If I'm stuttering while I'm reading, it's because this is moving while I'm trying to read here. Morehead State, representing the Ohio Valley Conference, may not have the same level of national recognition as Illinois, but they shouldn't be underestimated. He's talking a lot about Morehead State here. Illinois might be considered the favorite based on their higher seed. Okay. I'm going to go with Morehead here, you know. This is a bit of an upset straight away. The number 3 seed is going to go out to Morehead State. ChatGPT seems very fond of Morehead State, so we'll go with it. Next up, we got Washington State versus Drake. So we'll put Washington State versus Drake in brackets, not the rapper. See if he likes my humor, or she. The matchup, it didn't even acknowledge my humor. That's upsetting. Washington State are in the Pac-12. Typically faces tough competition. Drake are from the Missouri Valley Conference, may not have the same level of recognition. Drake had a strong start to the 2020-21 season and can pose a challenge to any opponent with their balanced play style. Washington State. I'm going Washington on this one. I'm not a big fan of Drake. Iowa State. If I was like a Drake fanboy, then, you know, we'd go there versus South Dakota State. Give me something. The matchup between Iowa State and South Dakota State presents an interesting clash once again. Big 12 versus the Summit League. What on earth is the Summit League? Iowa State. It's kind of giving me the same answer every time, innit? It's kind of giving me the same answer every time. Okay, this first one here, we have North Carolina versus Howe/Wagner. I'm just going to go for the number 1 seed there. Let me see what it says about Mississippi State. Mississippi, M-I-S-S-I... S-I-P-P-I, bloody hell, versus Michigan State. I like Michigan State's logo. I'm pretty sure we chose them last time on this one. It's going to be a highly competitive and closely contested. Michigan State represent the Big Ten Conference, is known for its strong basketball program under the leadership of Coach Tom Izzo. Not Tom Izzo. They have a rich history of success in college basketball. Michigan State typically feels a well-coached team. Okay. Then we got Mississippi from the SEC, a solid basketball program. Competitive teams over the years. I like the fact that it's told me about the coach. Coach Tom Izzo. That must mean he's like a pretty famous, well-renowned coach to be getting mentions out there. I probably would have gone Michigan, but we are letting ChatGPT do this for us. So I have a feeling he's going towards Mississippi State. Okay. I appreciate that. How about St. Mary's and Grand Canyon? Grand Canyon. The matchup between St. Mary's and Grand Canyon presents an interesting clash between two teams from different conferences. Okay, so we got the West Coast Conference and the Western Athletic Conference, the WAC. Grand Canyon, or WAC, has been rising in prominence in recent years. Okay, so they've shown significant improvement. St. Mary's considered favorite. You know what? I like the fact that the WAC is rising in prominence. I think even though he's saying St. Mary's is the favorite, it's saying Grand Canyon has the potential to surprise with their tenacity. I like that. I like a tenacious team. Let's go Grand Canyon. Next up, we got Alabama. Alabama versus Charleston. Charleston? Alabama versus Charleston. It's like, let's be an intriguing one. Okay, we got the SEC, known for their fast-paced, high-scoring style of play under Coach Nate Oates. Okay, Charleston are from the Colonial Athletic Association, the CAR. Not got the same level of national recognition. We're going to go with Alabama. Sweet home Alabama. Next up, we have the Clemson. I wonder what this team's called. The Clemson what? I know Clemson Tigers, but I don't think the basketball team's called that. Versus New Mexico. Clemson versus New Mexico. A competitive one. Clemson's from the ACC. New Mexico are from the Mountain West Conference. It's not really giving me much, is it? But again, it's giving me the name of the coach. Coach Brad Brownwell. Clemson typically emphasizes strong defense and efficient offense. Okay, we'll go Clemson. Next up, we got Baylor versus Colgate. I use a toothpaste called Colgate. Baylor versus Colgate. I put Colgator. Heavily favor Baylor. Okay. He's straight in there with this one. Colgate's from the Patriot League. Okay, we'll go Baylor. Dayton versus Nevada. Oh, this is actually pretty close in seeding. We got a number 7 seed versus a number 10 seed here. Nevada. Intriguing. He's going with the word intriguing again. The Atlantic 10 Conference. A strong basketball tradition under the guidance of their coaching staff. High tempo offense for Dayton. Nevada from the Mountain West Conference. They've had successes in their conference of demonstrated resilience and skill on the court. Nevada plays an aggressive style of basketball. Okay. I'm going to go Nevada. I like an aggressive style of basketball. I think against a more skilled opponent, that could come in handy. You know what I mean? Just being a bit aggressive with it. Then we have Arizona versus Long Beach State. I think we know where we're going here. Versus Long Beach State. What we saying? Heavily favor Arizona. Yeah. There's nothing to go there. Okay, so we have just thrown Houston straight in against Longwood in the South. Number 1 versus number 16. I'm obviously going to go for the number 1 seed. I do want to win this bracket challenge. Like I said, join down below. The link is in the description. The interesting one is going to be Nebraska versus... So they're the number 8 seed, and they're going up against Texas A&M, who are the number 9 seed. Who you got? Who has ChatGPT got? It's going to be a closely contested game. Nebraska's from the Big Ten, okay? It's had its ups and downs in recent years. Shown flashes of competitiveness. I don't really like that. They have potential to compete. Texas A&M from the Southeastern Conference also has its strengths. They typically face tough competition, okay? Would depend on factors such as their ability to control the tempo, rebounding, and defensive intensity. I'm not liking the fact that Nebraska's only shown flashes. I need more than a flash in the pan. I'm going Texas A&M. You are going to go through and face Houston in the next round. Next up, we have Wisconsin versus James Madison. The name of a football player for Tottenham, believe it or not. James, is it spelled the same? I think it is. Who's going to win? Come on, I need a bit of life out of ChatGPT, you know what I mean? Wisconsin heavily favored to win. They've got a strong basketball program. History of success sounds good. James Madison from the Colonial Athletic Association. Don't have the same level of recognition. Yeah, we're going Wisconsin. Wisconsin, it is Duke versus Vermont. I'm looking for any teasers of an upset. That's what I'm looking for here. Duke could be heavily favored to win. By the way, we're going to do the first round with ChatGPT, and then in the second round, I'm going to start making my own decisions. We're going to take over from there. Let's have a look. Duke from the ACC, one of the most storied and successful programs in college basketball history. Okay, they've won multiple NCAA championships. Okay, Vermont has had its own successes within its conference. Not within your own conference. I don't care about that. We got Texas Tech versus NC State. Will Texas Tech be joining Texas A&M in the second round? It's going to be a closely contested game. We got Texas from the Big 12 Conference. They got strong performances in college basketball. Okay, they got skill players and aggressive style of play. There it is, the aggressive word. NC State from the Atlantic. Is it NC State? Yeah, NC State. Also has a storied... Okay. They've shown the ability to compete with top-tier teams and often play with a lot of intensity and energy on the court. It's known for its defensive toughness and its ability to force turnovers. Oh, okay, this is an upset. We got NC State going through. There's only one team in Texas going through to the second round. And Texas Tech, it is not you. Kentucky versus Oakland. Oh, I'd go to Kentucky because I like the chicken. The cap's all messed up there. What's it saying? Kentucky heavily favored to win. They're from the SEC. They got that college basketball history. They recruit top-tier talents and feels highly skilled team members under the guidance of their coaching staff. Meanwhile, Oakland are from the Horizon League. Is that a sponsored league? Horizon. I always see that when I'm watching the NBA. Join Horizon now for $20 a month. They got the ability to compete in Kentucky. Kentucky Fried Chicken. We got Florida versus Colo or Boise. I don't like that. Why if I don't have a definitive answer? I'm going Florida because if the other two teams haven't even made it in yet, then there's not much hope for them. But they are a number 10 seed, so I don't know. But we'll do Marquette versus Western Kai. What is Western Kai? Be interested to find that out. Western Kentucky, okay, closely contested. We got Marquette from the Big East Conference. They got a strong basketball program. Okay, they're experienced. They rely on a solid defense and efficient offense, whereas Western Kentucky from the Conference USA, solid They have a tradition of success, potential to surprise higher seeded opponents. That's what we are looking for. Western Kai, aka Kentucky, you are going through, as are you, Purdue. We're just going to skip straight through that one. Utah State versus TCU. Now, I always have a little bit of a soft spot for TCU because we watched them in the college football playoffs. The first ever year I started my YouTube channel, started doing this, and TCU, the Horned Frogs in football, had an absolute storm of that year that we started watching them. So I have a bit of a soft spot. Let's see what ChatGPT is saying versus TCU. Why does it do that? Okay. Texas Christian University. I didn't know that was what it stood for, actually. So Utah State's from the Mountain West Conference. They got a strong program, blah, 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 blah. TCU from the Big 12. You know what? TCU. It has the potential to surprise higher seeded opponents. I'm going TCU. We got the Gonzaga. So the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Gonzaga versus who? McNeese. Is that like a McDonald's special or something? Get the chicken McNeese today. Gonzaga versus McNeese. Gonzaga heavily favored to win. What we're saying about McNeese may not have the same level of recognition. They would face a significant challenge against a powerhouse like Gonzaga. Okay, Gonzaga all the way. We got Kansas versus Samford. What you saying? What are you saying, ChatGPT? Kansas, Big 12, one of the most storied programs, looking like a favorite. Yeah, again, it's not even giving me like a glimpse of hope there for Samford. It's saying they're facing a powerhouse in Kansas, so there's only one winner coming out of this. South Carolina versus Oregon. Oregon. South Carolina, SEC. There's a lot of SEC teams in this competition, and there is basically an SEC showdown at this point. Oregon's from the Pac-12. History of success and experienced deep runs in the end. Oh. Oregon, we're going for the upset again. We have chosen quite a few upsets here. We have a number 9 seed on this side. We have a number 11 seed. We got a number 12 seed over here. And 10 in Nevada. Oh, I'm blocking that. But we've chosen a few of the upsets based on some of ChatGPT's information here. Next up, we have Creighton versus Akron. Creighton versus Akron. I know nothing about either of these places. Some of them I'm kind of familiar with, but Creighton and Akron, I have no idea. They're representing the Big East. They have a strong basketball program, history of success, high-scoring offense. I like the sound of that. Efficient offense, solid defense. Akron also has a competitive program. Yeah, it's not looking good for Akron. There's not much hope being given there. We have Texas. When it's two teams, I'm just going to choose Texas. So there is a second team from Texas going through. Retract my early status. Then we have Tennessee versus St. Peter's. I do have a soft spot for Tennessee, so we are going to be choosing Tennessee. Let's see what it says anyway. Oh, the cap's all messed up again. We've run with it. Tennessee heavily favored to win, as we thought. Right, guys, we are going to close down ChatGPT. Okay, round 2. If you are familiar with my live streams where we like to spin the wheel, that's what we're doing in round 2. So as you can see, in the red, we have FAU, and in the blue, we have UConn. Let's spin the wheel and see who it thinks is going to take the victory. It's looking like it's gone for the number 1 seed. UConn go flying through into the Elite 8. Oh, look at that. We got some sound effects and everything. Okay, we close that. Let's have a little change up here. We're going to go with who's next. We got San Diego and we got Yale. Okay, San Diego versus Yale. San Diego in the blue, Yale in the red. The wheel is in motion this time. Yale, number 13 seed, going all the way through to the Elite 8. Can BYU avoid the upset here? Oh, what has happened here? Okay, we got BYU in the blue versus Morehead State. Can BYU avoid the upset? Or a Morehead State here. They are here. Morehead, the number 14 seed. This is not looking good, guys. In the Elite 8 so far, we have a number 13 seed and we have a number 14 seed. Next up, we have Washington State versus Iowa. I mean, I will type in the state just because I don't want to offend people. I've done that before by not putting state on the end, and apparently you can't do that. You've got to add state to the name. So we got 2 states up against each other. Iowa versus Washington. Who is going through? It's going to be the blue of Washington State. Okay, there we go. There is our Elite 8 entrances from the East. Now we go down to the West. We got North Carolina versus, who were they against? Not bloody Mississippi. We should have knocked them out just so I didn't have to type it again. North Carolina versus MISSIPPI State. Boom. Smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. Who is going to smash who in the game? We've got another. I know North Carolina's #1 seed. Boom. We'll take that all day. Next up, Grand Canyon. We've got Grand Canyon versus Alabama. Okay. Alabama, big favourites in this matchup. Big favourites. Alabama in the red, which I believe they do play in. Grand Canyon look like they have a purple logo. Oh, no. Next up, we got Baylor versus Clemson. Baylor, #3 seed. Clemson, #6. Come on. Clemson, #6. We got a lot of upsets happening, but it is March Madness. Anything can happen. Next one is even bigger of an underdog. We got Nevada coming in with the #10 seed, and they will be facing off against Arizona. No state, just Arizona. Let's see. Arizona in the red, Nevada in the blue. What's going to happen? We've got Nevada. It's Nevada. Another upset. So that does complete this side of the bracket. We have UConn versus Yale, Morehead State versus Washington State, North Carolina versus Grand Canyon, and Clemson versus Nevada in the Elite 8. Okay. Over to the South we go. We are going to kick the South off with #1 ranked Houston versus #9 ranked Texas A&M. Come on, Houston. Do it, because nothing against Texas A&M, but I want that #1 seed through to my Elite 8. Come on. Yes, there we go. #1 Houston go flying through. And that leads us to the next match up, which is going to be, what have we got? We've got #5 seed Wisconsin versus #4 seed Duke. I know I've messed up the caps again, but do I care? No, we got Wisconsin are going to lose to #4 ranked Duke. I got the colors the wrong way around that time as well, but, you know, we're flying through this. We got NC State. Oh, we've removed Duke. I didn't mean to do that. NC State versus Kentucky. Like the chicken. Come on, Kentucky. Come on, Kentucky. KFC. Oh, no. We got a #11 seed going all the way through to the Elite 8, and that leads us to Florida versus Western Kai with a full stop. I'm not sure if the full stop's important, but we will add it in. #7 versus #15. It's looking like a Florida victory, and a Florida victory it sure is. Now we have Purdue, a #1 seed in this tournament, representing the Midwest versus TCU. You know, I don't really have a soft spot for TCU in terms of the basketball team, but like I said before, they remind me of my first year watching college football, and it is TCU going flying through to the next round. We say bye-bye to Purdue. Up next, we got #5 ranked Gonzaga, the elite team, as it said on ChatGPT, versus #4 in Kansas. This is an interesting one. I don't really mind who it picks here. It's two solid teams, and it's looking like a Gonzaga victory there. Okay, next up, we have Oregon, #11 seed, up against... Who are we up against here? So we got Oregon, and we got Creighton. It's a #3 seed. I've never even heard of a place, Creighton. I've never heard of it. But that don't mean much, because I've not heard of a lot of places in America. Oregon take the victory there. That's not good, boys. That is not good. Okay, the last one for the Wheel of Fortune. We have Texas with no A&M, no state. Well, let's spell Texas right. I don't want to anger the people of Texas out here. Bloody hell. Versus Tennessee. What's going to happen? I want Tennessee. No. We got Texas. Okay, there we go. So that leaves us now into our Elite 8. UConn versus Yale. There's no wheel now, guys. There's no ChatGPT. It's all down to me and my predictions. I find it hard to choose anything but the number 1 seed. That is the problem. I'm having a quick look at the overview to see if we can get any more insight. UConn have a 9-1-2 overall winning percentage. It's got to be UConn going flying through. That leads us up to Morehead State versus Washington State. You know what? Morehead State have had an absolute monstrous run, and I can see that continuing all the way through to the... What's this called here? Is this the Elite Eight? I've been getting it wrong. The other round was called the Sweet 16. I've absolutely messed it up, but you know what? I'm not going back and editing that out. We're running with it. We're absolutely running with it. We got North Carolina versus Grand Canyon. Is there anything here that can persuade me? Oh. Okay. The winning percentage is actually better for Grand Canyon. They both have the same conference record. I'm guessing North Carolina's in a tougher conference. Upset alert, Grand Canyon going all the way through. Clemson versus Nevada. Let's have a look over here. Nevada, once again, the lower seed, the better record. Probably in a weaker conference. They are in the Mountain West Conference. Okay. Tell me about a front court duo of center PJ Hall and Ian Shefflin. Oh, I'm going to go Clemson. We'll go Clemson. I like the logo. We're going Clemson. That leads us over back to the south. They got Houston versus Duke. I like the name Duke. It just like rolls off the tongue. Duke. The Blue Devils. What is Houston's nickname? I don't know Houston's nickname. I like the name the Blue Devils. My team's called the Red Devils, Manchester United. Shout out to Manchester United beating Liverpool. Woohoo! Let's go Duke. NC State. NC State versus Florida. Let's have a look at this. We got number 7 Florida, 686. NC State with a 611. ACC versus SCC. I'm going to go with the SCC. Let's go over to TCU versus Gonzaga. Like I said, TCU, we have a bit of a soft spot there. I'm looking at the record. Gonzaga have a much better record. They're in the West Coast Conference. Tell me a lot about the Gonzaga Bulldogs losing here. The Bulldogs... TCU is a classic jack of all trades, master of none team. The Horned Frogs, they are called the Horned Frogs as well. They've earned huge wins over Houston and Baylor. I like that, you know. TCU, you're going through. We are choosing upsets all the way here. Oregon versus Texas. Is there anything here? Let's have a look. We got Texas with the 625, Oregon with the 676. All these lower seeds have better ratings. They're in the Pac-12. The Texas guard... Okay, they've got a bit of a legendary Max Abmas. What we're saying about Oregon? The Ducks won the Pac-12 in part by putting an incredible defensive showing. I'm going to go Oregon. We're going upsets all the way over there. So that leaves us now with our Elite Eight. We got UConn versus Morehead. Again, Morehead have had a fantastic run, but I think their time has run out, in the words of Muse. UConn, you're going through to the Final Four. Grand Canyon versus Clemson. I know we've just looked at this, but I've already forgot. Look at that Grand Canyon winning record, but they are in a whack conference. The other number 1 conference ranked team, Clemson, and the number 5. I think I got to go Clemson this time round, guys. I think I have to go with Clemson. That leaves us to Duke versus Florida. Flow Rider. Duke. I just like the way it rolls off my tongue. Duke. TCU. I would say Duke normally, but I'm pretty sure you guys do say Duke. And TCU versus Oregon. You know what? We said we'd have a soft spot for TCU all the way through. Let's carry on in that manner. That leaves us with UConn versus Clemson. Duke versus TCU in the Final Four. The Final Four right here. 2024 men's Final Four happening in Phoenix. Guys, how do we choose who goes through here? UConn, Clemson. UConn, Clemson. UConn. We're going to go with UConn versus Clemson in that matchup. Duke versus TCU. We're going to go with Duke. I'm sorry, TCU. You had a good run. You did have a good run. And that leaves us with the championship game, State Farm Stadium, on the 9th of April. UConn, the number 1 seed, coming all the way from the east, versus Duke, the number 4 seed, coming from the south. And I don't know why, guys. I've just liked this way it sounded this whole way through. I'm going to give 2024 March Madness Championship game It's going to Duke. It is going all the way to Duke. We have a tiebreaker. Enter your score prediction. Oh my God. So I just did a little bit of research, and the 2023 March Madness final ended 76-59 to the winner. So I'm going to copy that exact same score. Imagine consecutive years. Not 15. They get the exact same score in the final. Duke is going to beat UConn in the championship game. 76-59. There we go. Finished the bracket. You have chosen Duke to win it all this year. Like I said, guys, there is a link down in the description. If you want to make your own bracket, you want to join in the fun, see how you compete against my combination of ChatGPT, spin the wheel, and my own predictions, then make your bracket, submit it. You don't have long to do it. Get it entered, and we will see who gets the most points. It's a bit of a different video today. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I will catch you for the next one. We're going to be doing lots of March Madness highlight reactions on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed. Drop a comment down below, and I'll see you for the next one. Take it easy. Peace.